Hello and welcome back to Beating the Bot. Since this marks the 10th episode of this series, I decided to do something special and finally take on the most heavily requested boss since the release of this series, the Chambers of Xeric. I've been holding off on doing this for a while since the minion system that I use for these videos still technically doesn't have this boss, but I figured I would do it anyway, even though it's going to be a little different than the norm. Most of you guys are probably already aware, but a lot of my videos recently have been raids related on the hardcore, so I figured this would be like killing two birds with one stone, because we could walk out of here with a T-bow, and that would be great, because I've been here for like 6 months. As always, I appreciate the support you guys have been showing on this series, and since I know there are some newcomers to the channel, this is not me competing with an actual bot, but it is a Discord run simulation, so it has no effect on the real game, and if I lose, I have to give away a prize to people in my clan chat or in the comments or something of the like. So, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and let's get started on some raids. Hopefully I don't end up having to give away like 50 mil or something. Now, I mentioned this video would be done a little bit differently, and the primary thing is simply that this is just going to be 30 kills versus 30 kills. It's not going to have anything to do with time, because since the mini doesn't have this, I can't really keep an accurate track of time on how fast the bot is going to be killing it. So, 30 kills versus 30 kills. This is the gear that I'm going to be using. It's not absolute max and it's not the most switches in the world. Despite solo raiding for a long time, I'm still not the most confident, and I don't really like taking 8 billion switches. So, yeah, this is the gear I'm going to be using. Thanks to third-party clients, scouting raids has become the norm. Now, what this means is that when you're at Chambers of Xeric, you can go in and out of the chambers as much as you want until you find the proper rotation. Third-party clients will tell you what demi-bosses you're going to have before you get to Ulm, and Ulm exists in every raid. Now, for me, since I'm going to be doing solo raids, and I'm going to be doing no prep solo raids, I'm generally looking for bosses that drop an overload early on, and then hopefully I can have some other bosses that drop brews and whatnot further into the raid. So, the first boss here, Meter Dial, will drop me overload, so I'll have that for the rest of the raid, and all the other bosses will allow me to just carry straight through to the end without having to make supplies during the raid, so I can do this as fast as possible. I know most of you probably already understand how raids work, but I decided to leave little snippets like that in because I know not everybody who watches my videos has done Chambers of Xeric before, and they might not really fully understand the functionality. So, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing, I'm going to be going pretty much entirely for no prep solos. That's kind of what I usually do. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but the objective of solo raids is to get to Ulm as fast as possible. This one wasn't my fastest raid in the world, but pretty average. And when you're at Ulm, the reason you want to get there so fast is because it gives you the majority of your points. It's the same fight every time, generally speaking, some minor changes here and there. And also, the faster you get through Ulm, the faster the raid is over, and the faster you move on to the next one, so you get more points per hour that way, and more chances at getting drops. I know I've given a brief explanation of Ulm in my hardcore videos too, but that was a while ago, and this is a different series, and I know not everybody has watched all of my hardcore videos. So I'm not going to fully explain the fight, but just to give you guys some brief explanation of what's going on. So as you can see right now, I'm actually only using Mage on this hand. The hands are generally speaking only affected by 2 attack styles. This hand is only affected by Mage damage. The other one is only affected by melee damage. Now, you can range this hand, but it's really bad, so you shouldn't do it. I'm running in this particular pattern to manipulate turning the head so I don't take any damage. The way you avoid all of the damage on solo Ulm is just to make the head turn in certain times by running to these particular tiles that you can see marked on the ground. Once the mage hand is dead and you move on to the melee hand, this one requires a bit more practice because a lot of you guys have probably heard the term 4-to-1 when referencing Ulm. Now this is referencing the melee hand because what you have to do is actually figure out where you are in Ulm's attack cycle because you have to be in a particular spot for this to work. When you're doing the mage hand, you don't take any damage because you can just avoid it all by running to particular tiles. Now, there are ways of doing this with melee, but it's just not efficient damage-wise. So, 4-to-1 simply means that I'm taking 1 hit per 4 hits that I'm doing to Ulm's hand. So, it's the best way to minimize the damage you take, while still being able to output a crazy amount of DPS. Alright, now that you guys know what's going on, let's just do a little bit of a loot montage here. So this is going to be my last raid. This is raid number 30 for me. And we have not had any items. Which, considering these raids are, 30 to, 35k points a raid. It's pretty bad. It's not horribly over the drop rate or anything. But it is definitely over the drop rate. I'm really hoping we can get something. Because otherwise I'm going to be having to give away like a decent chunk of change here. So I guess let's just hope it's not an item. Oh no. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Hopefully, I guess we're just hoping the bot doesn't get an item, because otherwise it looks like I'm going to be giving away like close to 10 mil or something. Alright, so this is how we're going to do this. I'll probably zoom in on this for full dramatic effect, but I'm in a channel in my Discord right now that no one else can see, so this is going to spoil the video for anybody. Since the bot itself can't actually send the minion out to do raids yet, I'm just going to have to do all of the raids all at once. So I have no idea if I win or lose. I know right now I'll put my total loot on the screen, and my total loot actually tallies up to be 8.64 mil. So basically, we are just really hoping the bot gets less than 8.64 mil. So let's just all at once. No items, please bot, no items. Oh, come on! It gets a Dex and an Ancestral Robe Top. I actually need the Ancestral Robe Top too. Jesus, this bot is ridiculously lucky. Holy. Okay, that's just rude. That's just rude. Well, obviously it does not take a rocket scientist to determine that 115 mil is a lot higher than 8. So, we very, very much so got destroyed in this challenge by the bot. Now, I am a little bit sad that I couldn't do it on the minion, but I'm pretty sure that the creator of the bot is actually working on doing that, but I can imagine that that's probably a nightmare to code, so it's probably still going to take quite a while before he can fully release that. Unfortunately, sometimes that is just how the cookie crumbles, and we did lose this one because that bot has some astronomically good RNG, and mine is just, can't always be as good as the Cerberus video, unfortunately. But I'm not going to drop 9 mil worth of supplies off of my hardcore. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be giving away 2 bonds, but this time I'm not going to be giving them away to the comments. I'm actually going to be giving them away to my clan chat to try and liven it up a little bit. So if you aren't already in the CC Dabe, it's typed out down below as well, and there's also several helpful links to my socials and whatnot that you guys should follow me on. That's where I'm going to be giving them away this time. Now, no, I haven't picked a date or time that I'm going to be giving them away, so just make sure you're hanging out in the CC, and I'll probably just pick a random day throughout this week to hand them out. Now, I also want to throw this out there that I'm not really sure what to do in terms of carrying on with the series, because at this point, we've actually pretty much gone through every single boss that the bot has, and we've done most of the bosses in the game already, aside from things like Theater of Blood, which I'm not sure if it will ever really get coded into the bot, but let me know what you guys want me to do. If you want me to just put the series on hiatus for a little while, if you want me to carry on doing it and just kind of recycle through bosses I've already killed and maybe do it with certain extra rules or expectations or something like that, just let me know down below whatever ideas you guys have, and I'll make sure to read through all the comments on this video and take that all to heart. Also, I can always just make polls if you guys want me to pick between like 4 different bosses for the next episode or something like that. Not really sure myself. Either way, have a fantastic day. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment if you guys are new. Next week, we're going to have a new hardcore video, and the week after that, the next installment of the Clue series. So have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Baby, but you know I never will. No. So I choke